Okay, so welcome to our today's program titled Euro-Atlantic Integration for Bosnia and Herzegovina, a pathway to security and prosperity. I would like to thank to everyone who is joining us today live, wherever you are. Thank you for being here with our special guests. Our session is scheduled to last 1 hour, and it's going to be recorded. My name is Vildana, and I'm a member of the Working Group for Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I'm delighted to moderate today's program. Before we start, I'd like to thank the World Congress of Bosniaks for hosting this online conference of the Working Group for Bosnia and Herzegovina. Some of you may wonder now, what is the Working Group for Bosnia and Herzegovina? Some of you may never heard of it before. Well, Working Group for Bosnia and Herzegovina is a volunteer association of Bosnian American leaders and allies from all over the world. The members of the Working Group for Bosnia and Herzegovina have one thing in common. We all have deep ties with Bosnia, yet we're all of various backgrounds and talents. So they're very diverse groups. And we're all connected through our commitment to promoting peace and justice in a secure and united and civic Bosnia and Herzegovina. We engage in various programs such as this one, and we also engage in public advocacy. And we're dedicated to a full democratic and sovereign state of Bosnia and Herzegovina, with territorial integrity, ensuring equal rights for all citizens. Our vision, so what is the vision of Working Group for Bosnia and Herzegovina? So it's a free, united, and democratic Bosnia and Herzegovina under the rule of law, with human rights, justice, dignity, and equality for all citizens. You're welcome to follow us on Twitter. We have a Twitter account, the Working Group for Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is at WGBIH, and we would like to hear from you, so you're welcome to write us. Today, I am so excited and delighted and honored to welcome our guest, Adis Ahmetović. Adis Ahmetovic's parents are from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and his parents, like many hundreds of thousands of people from Bosnia and Herzegovina, including myself, we were forced to leave, and overnight we became refugees, and we found ourselves in Germany. And we had to start from zero. And here we are today, 3 decades later. Adis Ahmetović is a member of the Social Democratic Party of Germany, the SPD. He's a member of the Bundestag, and he's a rapporteur for the Western Balkans. Congratulations, Adis. This is an incredible achievement, and we're very delighted to have you here, and we're very proud of you. So welcome to our program today.
Thank you, Vildana. Thank you very much.
So we would like to address several issues. Is there in Bosnia, talk about your personal story. So would you like to, beside what I mentioned, would you like to add something and share about your story and how you are now a member of the Bundestag in Germany?
I will try to do it very shortly. So thank you very much for the opportunity to get in touch and conversation with you. It's a very big honor also for me. And I really like diaspora groups and diaspora conversations, because many of us have sometimes the same story, biography. And so Vildana, you and me, we also have very much the same thing in our life. So that's very, very sympathetic, and I like it very much. So I will try to introduce by myself. I'm 28 years old. I was born in Hanover, so I'm a real Schwaber, how we would say it. And yeah, but my parents are originally from Bosnia and Herzegovina. My father is from Kotovaros. It's near to Banja Luka, and my mother is from Bosanski Petrovac. It's near to Bihać. They met each other in Banja Luka, and so the last story started. I have an older brother. His name is Edin, Edin is 32 years old, 4 years older than me. He also had to leave Kotovaros with my family together, with my parents. And also my grandmother and my uncle, my aunt, my cousins also left Kotovaros. From Kotovaros, they went to Zagreb, and from Zagreb went to Germany. And our new life, their second life, my first life started then in Germany, in Hanover. So we created a new life here in Germany, in Hanover. But some of my family are not living anymore in Germany. They're right now in St. Louis, Missouri. So some of my family members are American citizens. So their third life started then in US. So you see what a war can produce. It's very complicated and it's not so easy, but some of my family members are right now in the US, St. Louis, Missouri. They are convinced Democrats, I just wanted to say it. And they're very well integrated in the US society. And I also have small cousins, so they are really, really nice, have a really nice life in US. I'm the youngest in the family. I'm the first who finished the grammar school, the college, and then went to university in Hanover. I studied political science, German language, and economics. I finished my university with 25 years. I was 25 years old. I finished it. And this time, as the prime minister of my state, Lower Saxony, Stefan Weil, the prime minister, he's still the prime minister. It's like a governor. He asked me if I wanted to join his team. So after finishing my university, my studying, I've joined his team as his personal assistant. I've learned very much about politics in Germany, in Lower Saxony. I was with him in Qatar, in Russia, private audience by the Pope. So I also learned very much international politics. So I saw, okay, I like politics. I like to be maybe a politician. I like international politics. Then I started to be also active in my political party, the Social Democratic Party in Hanover. 10th January 2020, my political party in Hanover elected me as her president, a really, really young political president of the Social Democratic Party in Hanover. And you have to know, Hanover is the city of Kurt Schumacher, Egon Franke, Gerhard Schröder, maybe you know Gerhard Schröder. Mm-hmm. And now a new kid like Adis Ahmetović joined the city and joined maybe some of this special politician. Last year we had the election in Germany. We voted a new Bundestag, and I'm really still happy about the result, because Hanover, my city, voted me with the most of the votes. So I was voted directly into the Bundestag. I'm not result of a list candidate. I get the most of the votes. So I'm very proud of it, because the people in Hanover wanted me to be their politician in the German Bundestag. So I'm now in the German Bundestag, member of the Foreign Affairs Committee and also Defense Committee. Very big issues. And in these two committees, especially in the Foreign Affairs Committee, I'm the rapporteur of Western Balkans, also Central East Europe. Really important to say, also Central East Europe. Because of that, I was last week in Poland. Then I fly to Croatia. So I'm trying to do a bit Southeast Europe politics, because not so many politicians in Germany like this topic, Southeast Europe. It's complicated. It's not so easy. Always very big issues, and so I thought, okay, easy issues, everyone can deal with easy issues, so I will decide to do very big one. So I'm working on these very big issues, but I think I'm doing it okay. I'm on a very good way, and the last weeks and months, the whole of my work is concentrated on the Western Balkan, especially on Bosnia and Herzegovina, because of some different reasons, but maybe Vildana, we can talk about this reason why Bosnia and Herzegovina is so important.
Excellent. Wow, what an incredible story. It's truly inspiring from your very beginnings with your parents and now that you are in the Bundestag. So, I mean, to me, you're such an inspiration. So thank you for sharing your story. And well, let's dive in. We know that we have the upcoming elections in Bosnia and Herzegovina, the general elections of 2022. And there are attempts to undermine the Dayton Peace Agreement and to further secession, which not only endangers stability inside Bosnia and Herzegovina and the Western Balkans region, but also in Europe as a whole. I would like to hear from you your opinion and your recommendations for the citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina, whether they are in Bosnia locally or the worldwide diaspora. As you know, we're spread out from America to Australia. How can an individual citizen of Bosnia and Herzegovina contribute to Bosnia's stability, especially now ahead of these general elections?
6 months ago, the politicians in Bosnia started to talk about war again. They had a war narrative, and it was a very aggressive narrative. I thought after 30 years of beginning of the civil war in Bosnia and Herzegovina, we are in a time where we can work on prosperity, about future, a better future for young people. But the political elite in Bosnia and Herzegovina is still staying in the time in the past, what we all want to leave. And many of us had to leave this country because of this war in 1992. But now, 30 years later, we have the same discussion again, six months ago. And Bosnia and Herzegovina was in a very big trouble because some of the leaders in Bosnia and Herzegovina wanted to segregate and separate this country. The thing is, it was on a very good way for them to separate this country in two parts or maybe in three parts. But the war in Ukraine stopped this idea and this fantasy of dividing this country. On the one hand, yes, the Ukraine war is brutal, and I'm very, very clear about my position against Russia. And we as Germany and Europe did very much mistakes with our East politics to Russia. And we were too much depends on Russian energy and so on. But the Ukraine war, after starting 24th February, the whole European Union and German foreign affairs and defense politics changed. Our Bundeskanzler, our Chancellor Olaf Scholz, described it as the Zeitenwende, like time changing. It's a time changing for German foreign affairs politics to Russia, maybe also to Europe and also to Western Balkan. Mm-hmm. We as Germany and German politics, we wasn't so interesting in the development of the Western Balkan and the EU integration of Western Balkan. And this was a very big mistake. And because of that, many autocrat forces and actors in Bosnia and Herzegovina and from other countries, like from Serbia, from Croatia, from Turkey, from Russia, from China, had very much influence in this country. And this is a very big problem and very big issue. And this vacuum, we have to fill it up again as Germany and the democratic forces in the European Union, Europe, and maybe also together with Great Britain, hello Almira, and together with the United States. And without this transatlantic European partnership, we cannot force the issues and the problems in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Right now, I'm really happy. 6 months ago, I said it will not be a war in Bosnia and Herzegovina. It will be the election in October, and we will find money for finance this election. And we will not have We won't have segregation and separation in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Third thing is the High Representative Christian Schmidt will use the bond powers, and he used the bond powers. The fifth thing is we will continue the EUFOR Althea mission, we as Germany, and we will continue and go back to the EUFOR Althea mission, which we left 10 years ago. That was also a very big mistake. So we are now changing our Western Balkan politics in a positive way to defend the democratic society and the democratic leaders. I'm convinced still we have democratic leaders in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and also progressive leaders who want to create a positive future for this country. We want to support them, and because of that, to July, 6th July, it's very important for all diasporas, Bosnian diaspora, big diaspora, to register for the election. Everyone who has the Bosnian Herzegovinian passport or the double passport, the US or British and Bosnian Herzegovinian passport, has to register for the election. It is a very important signal for you, for Europe and for the European Union, that the people in Bosnia and Herzegovina show them they want democracy. Because of that, the participation quote has to be very high. We have to organize a massive participation in this election, not 50%, 60%. It would be really great to have over 70% to show the world and the international communities, United Nations, the people in Bosnia and Herzegovina believe in the democracy system. And the second thing, and that's a political thing or political question. What political party or wing is the right one for the future of Bosnia and Herzegovina? And I'm not fighting for ethno-nationalistic parties and leaders. I'm saying it very clear. I'm Adis Ahmetović. My name is not typical North German. The people in Germany didn't vote me because my name is Adis Ahmetović. They had to vote Maximilian Oppelt, Svante Michaelsen, or some other typical German politician or typical German or Schwabos. But I'm not, if you are reading my name. But still, the whole of the Hanover society decided to vote me with 34%, 50% more than others, because I think so. I have the qualification. I'm very active. I have the passion for politics, and I had the right political plan. And so we have to decide in the election on the 2nd October who will have or who has the best political plan for the future of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And we are talking we're not really in the political discussion in Bosnia and Herzegovina as a culture. You're always talking about the religion, ethnic groups, but nobody is talking about the future issues, working places, labor, our vision for peace, our vision for the young people. So we have to work on these two things together.
Okay, yeah, that's thank you for elaborating on that. It's very important that we have as many people register, especially in the diaspora, so they can vote, and that it can show that we care and actually take it seriously. Although there is what we notice is there's like a lethargic, people don't want to get involved in politics. They don't want to vote. They have given up the hope. Some people can't even register because it's a very complicated system. It's very complicated to get your identification card, which is actually a requirement to actually to register to vote. So there is the system in itself. It's a little bit complicated, and it's made difficult for the citizen of Bosnia and Herzegovina to vote like in other countries.
But now, Vildana, it's possible online registration.
Yes.
So everyone can now, that's a wow, that's very, for Bosnia and Herzegovina, online registration, that's great. So we have to use this tool. It's really important.
Yes, finally, yes. So everyone can go on izbori.ba and everyone can download the information there. And get familiar with the whole process. So yes, we were definitely lacking behind in this whole digital era that we are the first time that we can actually register online and get our name registered. So that's excellent. And I also find important, in the German-speaking Europe, there's a lot of people from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they're closer to Bosnia, geographically speaking, closer. But of course, we have so many Bosnians that have kept their citizenship in Australia, in America, in many other countries. So as a member of the working group for Bosnia and Herzegovina, we're definitely committed, and we will make sure that we help our fellow citizen to get registered and to get the vote, and maybe use their inat to actually, show in masses and show their participation.
Milana, for example, in Germany, just 10% of the German or of the big diaspora in Germany voted 5 years ago, was participated, just 10%. So we have a very big potential. 90% can register and vote at the election in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So if you want to change in this country, it's not possible without the diaspora. So it's really important this year. It's a key election in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We just have still this one chance. I'm not saying it because I want to create some panic or dramatic. I'm not a drama queen, but I'm still convinced about it. This year is a key year for the future of Bosnia and Herzegovina. If we want this state with this territorium, with this state building, we have to participate at this election, and we have to motivate people to register and to vote. I'm really convinced about it.
Okay, thank you so much. So everyone listening to us, so please go on izbori.ba and get registered, and make sure to use your vote. And this is a key year, key elections, and I think I'm always positive, and I think that change is possible and that we can make a difference. So as a member of the working group, we're committed to that, and we'll make sure that we help our diaspora to get that done. So another question, what do you recommend to the representatives of big civil societies and various diaspora groups, such as our group, the Working Group for Bosnia and Herzegovina, to various think tanks and NGO organizations that are based in Bosnia and diaspora? How can we best support your work to reach your objective in terms of prosperity and stability of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and consequently in the Western Balkans?
First, I'm very thankful for your work, NGOs, think tanks. I know it's not easy for you, because the country for you are working, or you are sitting in the US and you're thinking about the better future of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and the political elite, the presidents are not interested in your work. So that's very sad sometimes. And it's not a respect, but you're still fighting for your country, and you're still thinking positive of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I know by myself that the ambassadors and the general secretaries in the countries are not interested in the diaspora very much. And so it's not easy for the big diaspora to be, how to say it, very convinced about about a better future for Bosnia and Herzegovina. But still, we all have this feeling and this big DNA who is always getting us motivated, and we have this fire to fight for this country and to fight for this young generation. And so thank you for your work. I know it's not easy, and I also know it's not easy to get sometimes the intention of the politician in the US or in Germany or in the European Union. So after starting this new function to be the rapporteur of Western Balkan, I had to be a bit how to say it, a bit loud in Germany to get attention for this topic. I started in February 6 months ago or 5 months ago, and I said the future of the European Union and of Europe, the future of peace and stability of Europe will not just only decide on the Russian-Ukraine border, also in the Western Balkans, especially in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And it was, how to say it, a media explosion after this statement of me. But the newspapers and the media and the civil society and my government and also my colleagues from my political group started to ask me, what is the situation in Western Balkan? What happened right now in Bosnia and Herzegovina? So we always have to be very loud, and we have to be really good connected to each other, and we have to support each other in our work, because when we are starting to create maybe a positive picture of Bosnia and Herzegovina or vision of Bosnia and Herzegovina, if we are fighting for, you said it, equal rights, free unity, rule of law, on the social media and in the media discuss in the Western Balkan and over the Western Balkan, the other side of these forces, and we have right nationalistic forces, they are really good connected. The right propaganda starting in the social media and try to destroy our positive picture of Bosnia and Herzegovina. So it's really important that we have together, we have to create our narrative, our positive narrative of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And please, you are now in the US, and we as European Union, yes, we have a very special role for the Western Balkan, also for Bosnia and Herzegovina, but we cannot decide alone. So it's very, very important for us to have very close friends in Great Britain and also in US. And you as Bosnian American, you have a very special guy, Escobar. I met him in Belgrade, and I think it's still much more potential also in his work, in his administrative work. He can be maybe a better rapporteur for the United States. So it would be very helpful if you get more pressure on your political leaders in your states, in the US, in the government, because sometimes I have the feeling that his position is his own personal position, but it's not always the position of the new Biden administration, because Biden is a very big friend of Western Balkan, and he had a very clear position against Russia, Russian influence, and Turkey influence in the Western Balkan and Bosnia and Herzegovina. But your rapporteur, Escobar, I'm waiting for his clear position sometimes, and I'm waiting for his clear support for Christian Schmidt, the High Representative in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And Christian Schmidt, everyone's laughing at the beginning about his work, but hey, he used twice the bond powers in a very explosive situation, but he finds solutions for a good future for Bosnia and Herzegovina, state property, and finding finance for the election. So I'm waiting for Escobar supporting for Christian Schmidt, louder supporting, not just in hiding in closed doors. I think louder in the media and also in the Bosnia and Herzegovina media. So you can do very much in the US, and sometimes you are more important than me in Germany. Germany, yes, is important. Also Christian Schmidt, I'm very close with Christian Schmidt, good colleague, but still we need the US administration to get some solutions in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Great Britain is really good. I think Great Britain is right now, if you want to say which place, the first place, second place Germany, and third place US. So let's work on maybe clear position of US and US think tanks and NGOs. anti-political. So you're not left, you're not right, you're not middle, you're not social democratic. You are NGO, you are think tank, but still you have values, and these values are really good, really important, are typical European values, typical US values, and so force these people by these values. Rule of law is the most important thing, in my opinion, for a better future in the Western Balkans and also in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Without a clear and good and stability rule of law, we cannot create a positive future in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So you are also has a very key role for positive development of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Thank you, Adis. Thank you for sharing your insight about this topic. Yes, we have to also be loud. Like you said, you were very loud at the beginning, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And somehow Bosnia has been neglected over the last few years, but now it seems to be this huge wave, as you said, with Great Britain, with Germany, and hopefully US, to actually work together towards our common goal, which is stability and prosperity of Bosnia and Herzegovina. I would like also to talk about the election law that takes into account this ethnic approach. And interestingly, there's no other countries in the world that has, to my knowledge, that has this ethnic approach except Bosnia and Lebanon. And I think you mentioned that in one of your interviews last week in Zagreb. So would you like to mention or to add anything about that?
It's very complicated to discuss, but still it's important to find a solution. The Dayton Peace Agreement is on the one hand positive because it stopped the war. On the second hand, on the other hand, it creates a state with a structure which is very, which based on ethnic principles, and that's a very, and that makes many things very complicated in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So the election reform and the election law, it's good that the discussion stopped, that the election law will not be changed before the election. I'm always compared with Germany. Right now, we are also have a very big discuss about a new election law, an election system in Germany. But we are doing it not in Sarajevo, in Neum, in a hotel where nobody can join this discussion. We are doing it very open because we have nothing to hide. Why shouldn't we discuss a new election system and law with the society, and also with participation of NGOs, think tanks, the international community, the diasporas? But the European Union, I forgot the name of our rapporteur of the European Union, Eichhorst, Mrs. Eichhorst, and Mr. Palmer from the US administration came to Bosnia and Herzegovina, choose the leader of the political parties. They hide in Neum in the hotel and try to find a solution. We as politicians from Germany, from the Foreign Affairs Committee, we had no information about the documents there. We just get the information after not finding a solution or compromise about these conversations and about this trying to deal a new election. So I think that's a really, really wrong way. We are screaming for democratic system in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but we as European Union and US administration are working not on a democratic way. If we want to find a new election law system, so we have to find a new style, maybe a new way of create of a new process after the election, together with the democratic institutions who are legitimated by the people, together with the society, and together with the think tanks and the NGOs. The first thing. The second thing is that's also really important. If someone asked me, what is the best political system or election system for Bosnia and Herzegovina? My answer is, doesn't matter which state in Europe you will choose. Every political system, election system, European Union or in Europe is better than the system in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So I'm telling it, my Croatian friends in the parliament, in the Sabor, in the parliament, or the NGOs, come on, the election system in Croatia is perfect. Let's copy this election system in Croatia and let's get it. Let's try to have it also in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And the very paradox thing is, on the one hand, they are very ponosni, they're very proud, sorry. They're very proud of their election system in Croatia. And when I'm saying, oh, congratulations for election system, they're very proud of it. But when I'm saying, let's try to implement this system of Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, then they're saying, no, it's not possible. So that's a very, very funny discussion always. So my opinion, we don't want to discriminate no ethnic groups. That's not just only Bosniaks, Croatians, Serbian. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, they're living much more ethnic groups, religion, religious group, or some of them are not in a religion society or in a religion group. They're just, I don't know, atheisten or don't want to decide.
Ostali,
Ostali, the others. So the others. So let's try to create a political system like in, doesn't matter which other country in Europe, it will be better than this one. And I am convinced also about it. The third thing, the most of the people in Bosnia and Herzegovina are not voting, the most of them, not everyone, but the most of them are not voting a political leader because of his religion or because of his ethnic group. And they want to vote a political leader who is convinced about this state and state idea, who is a proud Bosnian and Herzegovinian, who wants to fight for a better future of the young generation and the whole country, who is convinced about it that he will fight for the way in the European Union and to be a member also in the NATO. And I'm really sure, doesn't matter if it's Muslim, Serbian Orthodox or Catholic, it's the most important thing is the plan and the vision for this country. And because of that, you can see it on the last election, on the result, the Social Democratic Party, together with Željko Komšić, DF, Demokratska Fronta, get together in the Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina more than SDA and HDZ BiH. So the most of the people are for anti-ethno-nationalistic way. And so let's work on it. And it can be also more of it if the people are seeing equal rights, rule of law, and if we get motivated also to get in the participate in the election, the people in the diaspora. So that's my opinion. These 3 points for a new election law, but after the elections in Bosnia and Herzegovina, not before, where it's very much hectic, panic and hectic election campaigning. So you cannot create a new law in this atmosphere. You need much more time. You need much more transparency, and I will work on it. We will work as a German Parliament on it. And it's very important that Great Britain and also the United States are working together with us on this new election system after the election.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we're very grateful that we have you, and what is your advantage that you know the culture, that you know the language, the local language. So compared to other rapporteurs, like you mentioned from the US, you definitely have this huge advantage of knowing the culture, knowing the language, knowing the mentality of Bosnian people. So we're very glad, we're very glad to have you and support Bosnia on her path to stability and prosperity. So we're all excited about the election and what's going to happen for this general election. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, just one thing, and because maybe someone will watch it after our conference, this video. It's very important for me to say it. Of course, I'm fighting for a better future of the Western Balkan and also for Bosnia and Herzegovina because my family is originally from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yes, that's also a reason. It wouldn't be honestly if I say no, I'm not doing it because I'm from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm just doing it because it's my idealism. No, I'm doing it also because originally my family is from Bosnia and Herzegovina. But still, I'm a convinced European citizen, and I love this continent. I love Europe and the idea of European Union. And the European Union and the United Nations did 30 years ago a very big mistake. And what was the result of this mistake? Over 2 million refugees, over 200 victims and dead people because of the war in Croatia and also in Bosnia and Herzegovina in 1999, in Kosovo, also a very big problem. So if you are a convinced European citizen, if you are convinced of the European Union idea, you have to be interesting in the Western Balkan. If you are not, you don't have to be surprised about the influence of Russia, China, and Turkey. Right now, everyone's saying, oh my God, Russia, Turkey, and China are so strong in the Western Balkan. I said, yeah, right. Sorry. But you left there a vacuum, a political vacuum. You didn't be concentrated your foreign affair politics in Western Balkan. So that's my both motivation to fight for a better future for this region, not only because my parents are from Bosnia and Herzegovina. And that's my opinion. That's always important to say it. It's not just a personal thing. It's also a European thing for me.
Mm. Absolutely, yeah. We can see that, and we're very impressed. And there's one question from the audience: where do you get your inspiration from? Where do you get, And I can feel it even in our conversation, your enthusiasm. What drives you? Where do you get your inspiration from?
That's a very good question. I'm asking it every night. Because it's not so easy right now for me, I can say it. It's not so easy. If you're reading some comments on social media, if you're reading the right-wing propaganda in Croatia, Serbia, or also in Bosnia and Herzegovina, I'm also get hate letters in my office, my office leader getting a phone call, and it's not so easy right now. Really, it's not. But I'm still convinced that it's a bit maybe not a political thing. I'm saying it on Bosnian language. It's like sudbina. Sudbina, because 30 years ago, my parents left this region because of a war, because of wrong politics of European Union, wrong politics of Germany, of the United States, of Great Britain, of the United Nations. And my parents are just one example for millions of people who left this region. And now, 30 years later, it's sitting a 20 years old young boy, originally from Bosnia and Herzegovina, in this German parliament. And I'm seeing that some mistakes from the past is maybe coming again. But now I'm in the position as a young German politician, as a member of the German Bundestag, as a rapporteur of Western Balkan, as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee and Defense Committee, to stop some of these mistakes. And in 6 months, I get all my energy from very very nice support from the diaspora, from Western Balkan friends, not just only people who are originally from this region, also like Patrick, who's also fighting for this region, or some other friends who are German, who are British, who are from France, who are supporting me and saying, Adis, right now you have, it's the moment to create a new chapter for the Western Balkan and a new chapter for Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I have the feeling I can change something. 2008, everyone was laughing about Barack Hussein Obama. 2008. Oh my God, a black guy wanted to be the candidate of the Democrats for the presidential election. 2008. And he said, 2008, I will be by the people and I will be the change. Yes, we can. So, okay, maybe it's a very big maybe compare right now with Obama, but it's maybe kind of this. Nobody believed in him, and sometimes also nobody's believing in the young generation. Everyone was saying, "Oh, he's 27 years old. Should he be the candidate of the Social Democratic Party in Germany, in Hanover?" And the situation for the Social Democratic Party in Germany was really bad. We had just 13% in the ranking, and nobody was believe in our win victory for the election. But still, I was fighting, and nobody in Germany in Hanover told me I cannot vote you because maybe you have a Muslim background or Bosnian background or Croatian background. They said to me, it's great that Hanover will have a guy like you with this international background in the German Bundestag. And this support from Hanover, from Germany, and everyone in the street yesterday, I was campaigning because we will have in the state Lower Saxony in October election. Maybe I will not be elected, but I'm still solidarity with my political colleagues, and I'm on the street and I'm doing campaigning for my colleagues which want to be elected for the state election in Lower Saxony. And I was on the street and everyone was told me, Adis, you're right now an expert for the Western Balkan. Can you explain us the situation? We want to help Bosnia and Herzegovina. We want to help Croatia. We want to help Montenegro. And that's a really nice thing, that normal people who are not experts, who are not in the university, maybe not in the NGO or think tank, starting to get in touch with this region. And I'm very happy that it's possible to get much more people passionate for this region. So I'm working on it. I'm not afraid of anything. I know I'm on the right way. I know I'm not doing everything right. I can be better. I'm working on it to be every day better and better. But still, I'm a Democrat. The Democrat system, it's the right system. And I am convinced that the most of the people in the Western Balkan, in the Bosnia and Herzegovina, wish a future and a life like in Germany, in the US, or in Sweden, or Great Britain. And that is supporting me every day. Yeah. And Vildana, so we are also Balkans, so I still have the Balkan, blood, I have passion, temperament, we are always fighting. It was never easy for us also to be German citizen. It wasn't easy for me because I had to fight to get a German passport, 4 years integration process. I was born in Hanover, but still I had to wait 22 years to get the German passport. So it wasn't easy. Nothing was easy. Nothing was a present for you or for me. But still, we are fighters. And after every maybe interview in the in the Bosnian television or Croatian television, my parents are very proud. And I know if my parents are proud, I know that every parents of kids like me in my age or my generation are also proud of me. And that's nice. And that's a very positive thing for me and give me always energy. I want to show my big diaspora in Germany and all over the world, we can make it and we will make it. And that's a very big success for everyone of us, I think.
Yes. And not just the laws, the legal milieu in Germany in general to acquire the German citizenship is very challenging, especially for those of us that were refugees that came in the 90s. I myself received the Abschiebung, and thank God and I also heard that your family, the same thing, that they received the Abschiebung. For non-German speakers means, you had to leave Germany after the war was over. And despite of all those challenges that your family had, you guys still managed. And from what I found out, that the lawyer who assisted you and who gave you the support to get the residency, the green,
now sitting.
green card.
Now he's sitting next to me in the German Bundestag.
I know.
So imagine this. Our advocate who fight for us to stay in Germany is now my colleague in my social democratic group in the Bundestag. It's my political mentor, and now we are sitting next to each other. This feeling and that's crazy. That's really, really crazy. You cannot write something like this. It's better than a Hollywood movie.
Exactly. I was going to say it's like in the movies, the irony, kind of the circle of life, how things actually end up, and that you are with your lawyer sitting in the Bundestag and you guys are working together. I think that is such a beautiful, beautiful sudbina, what happened, and very inspiring story, to say the least. We have 8 minutes left. There is one more question from the audience. How do other foreign politicians and parties view Bosnia and Herzegovina current political state, and what are some short-term changes we as the big nation need to make if we manage to swing towards a more democratic state and leadership? So how do other foreign politicians and parties view Bosnia current political state, and what are some short-term changes we as the big nation need to make if we manage to swing towards a more democratic state and leadership? Short-term changes.
It's not so easy question, I think, but still, let me say, I have not an answer on every question. I'm still a new politician in the German Bundestag, but still, I'm sure that we have to start to discuss in Bosnia and Herzegovina about normal issues. Right. Every year, every month, every week, every day, we always discuss about will this state will exist or not.
Yeah.
Let me say Shakespeare, be or not to be.
Yeah.
And this question, be or not to be, every day, it makes you crazy.
Yeah.
And in Germany, we are discussing about the transformation of the industry. We are discussing about education, digitalization, decarbonization, how to fight against the corona pandemic, how to create a new European Union, and so much other issues. And we are doing it on constructive way. Doesn't matter if you are left wing, right wing, if you're liberal, we are not insult each other. But the political culture and the political mentality in Bosnia and Herzegovina, it's like toxic. It's a toxic atmosphere, and you just can create stability, peace, and democracy if you don't have to be anymore afraid about a war, if you can live your life, doesn't matter who you are, which ethnic group, with which religion. You cannot create and build up democracy and prosperity in fairness and in hate. It's not possible. So I'm working this 6 months to tell the people, don't be afraid, Bosnia and Herzegovina will exist. Doesn't matter what some of these ethno-nationalistic people are saying, that's just a toxic narrative to get you in, to irritate you. Nothing more, nothing less.
Just let them talk and start to create this state. Equal rights, free unity, rule of law, be active in political parties, be active in NGOs and think tanks. And I'm also always try to motivate women. A second big problem in Bosnia and Herzegovina, if you watch a picture last week from Michelle in Brussels with the Bosnian leaders, you are seeing 16 people on this picture, 1 woman and 15 men, and male politician. And I don't want to start a feminism discussion right now. It's not my idea, but still, we need much more young people, not 60 plus, and we need much more women in the political system of Bosnia and Herzegovina, in the companies, in the universities. I'm so sad about it to see very successful Bosnian big women, not in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but in Croatia, in Serbia, in Great Britain, in the US, in Germany. Why they don't have the same success also in Bosnia and Herzegovina? Because a male political elite is stopping and block young people and also female politicians. And the third thing is the election in October. I will say it again, I will repeat it. We need mass participation on this election for the signal, and we have to vote for political leaders who don't want to live in ethnic separations. So who, I will say it for example, I will say it very clear. It doesn't matter which political positions. I'm a politician. I'm allowed to say it. For example, Željko Komšić. He is a Croatian, Serbian, Bosnian Herzegovinian citizen. So he's not Bosniak, he's not Muslim or something like this. He's convinced about Bosnia and Herzegovina. He will fight for Bosnia and Herzegovina. And he's the best ambassador right now for Bosnia and Herzegovina in Germany, in the Vatican, in Italy. He is, if you are listening to him, he's not talking about war, about hate, about fear. And maybe he has not the best vision for Bosnia and Herzegovina in education or in transformation of industry, but doesn't matter. We need a politician who is able to think normal, who wants Bosnia and Herzegovina to be member in the European Union, to be member in the NATO. They need to be member in NATO and European Union. So we have to work on leaders like this, but also we have to support the young generation. I will travel to Bosnia and Herzegovina in July, and I will visit not just the most important political presidents and parliamentarians. I will visit and talk with young people, but because we need young people. This brain drain in Bosnia and Herzegovina can destroy the state. So we have to motivate young people to stay in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I know it's not easy. I know it's easy for me to say here from my chair here in Germany, and for me it's perfect, everything, Hanover, nice life. But still, we have to fight that the young people are staying there and have a good opportunity to get a positive future and a good future, a good life in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So that's are my aims.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. We have only like a few seconds left, so we're almost out of time. Thank you, Adis, for this answer. Before we close, what is the main message that you would like the audience to take away today?
Let me say it in Bosnian Herzegovinian language, and I will try to translate it then. Ima Bosnia Herzegovina I bit će uvijek Bosnia Herzegovina. So in English, we have Bosnia Herzegovina, and Bosnia Herzegovina will stay be. And so we will stay have Bosnia Herzegovina. So let's work on let's work together. Let's work together that Bosnia Herzegovina will have a good future. I'm very convinced about it. I'm motivated. I need your help. I need your support. It's enough to have positive words. That's enough. I don't need you here in Germany. I don't need you in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Just help me to comment maybe good ideas on the social media, to read next to maybe not so nice things, also nice words. That's enough for my soul. So that's my energy, that's my power. And you will see I will run and I will continue this way. And I'm very sure in 3 years after ending my first pirate in the German Bundestag, we will have a good party, because Bosnia and Herzegovina is create a stability and peace future. And so let's work on it.
Adis, thank you so much for making time. I know you have a super busy schedule and you are very engaged. So we really appreciate it here, the members of the working group for Bosnia and Herzegovina. We really appreciate that you made the time to meet with us and to talk with us. Your story is really inspiring, and it means a lot to our work. We're definitely here to support you in any ways we can. So for everyone else who's going to be watching this, you guys can always contact us if you have any questions, if you want to get involved with the working group for Bosnia and Herzegovina. We're here. So Adis, thank you so much again. It was such a delight to talk with you, and thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thank you very much. And Almira, thank you for connecting me with Vildana and this group. That was a really nice thing. Thank you, Almira. So see you, people.
Everyone. Thank you.
Ciao.